Welcome to the Class of the Little Sass podcast. I'm your host, Carrie Millspaw, best-selling author and award-winning motivational speaker with over 20 years in the personal development industry. I believe that the more you know, the more you grow. With each podcast episode, I will educate and empower you, girlfriend to girlfriend style, on how to create a happy life, from motherhood guidance, career and business advice, to feeling confident in your relationships and everything in between. This is Real Talk Radio. Let's jump right into today's episode. Well, hello there, friends. Thanks for showing up today. I appreciate that you are here. Today's episode, we're going to go backwards a little bit to episode 40, which is the episode previous to this one, which is called Diversify Your Dreams, 3 Compelling Reasons Why You Should Have a Side Hustle. And today, we're going to spark your brain about what that looks like. What's a side hustle, Carrie? Give me some ideas. I don't know where to start. I want to make some more money, all the good things. And I'm not going to go super deep. That's what programs are for and digital courses. But I want to just get your brain juices flowing. Last week's episode should have at least given you an idea why you need it. And I'm just going to review it quick if you're just now jumping on and you didn't get a chance to listen to episode 40, which was just released last week. I want to just kind of briefly go through that. It looks like this. Number one reason is the fulfillment. You want a side hustle because it gives you a sense of purpose, makes you feel important, seen, heard, all the things. It gives your passion some life. Number two, of course, is the financial reason. It's just kind of a no-brainer. Streams of income, the more streams, the better. You've got to have lots of streams in case one dries up. Their tax write-offs are amazing. Again, if you want to hear the depth to all these topics, you got to go back and listen to last week's episode. And of course, there's, just kind of pressing that importance of having multiple streams of income. And number 3 is the skill development. You grow with the new challenges. You feel unstoppable. You start to create more of a victim or a victor mindset instead of the victim mindset, and you really do expand beyond your comfort zone. So let's just dive right in. I'm going to pretend, let's just make believe, y'all. Just play with me here. We're going to pretend like you're my one-on-one client, and I'm going to walk you through some ideas because I don't know about you. I get overwhelmed really quickly when a ton of information is dumped on me. And I think that's safe to say that most people do. When it starts to, your brain just feels like it's going to explode. You go into overwhelm and you just stop listening. You stop absorbing. As a sponge, you're just done. Like, ring me out, start over. Like, I can't listen anymore. And that's why I like to break down teaching type of podcast into bite-sized chunks so that you can easily process, digest it, move on to the next thing. Same when I'm teaching a client, I take them through these baby steps of building their personal brand and then building out streams of income. I know they want it all right now, but you can't. It's like trying to eat a steak dinner for 12 in one sitting. Let's just break it down, enjoy it. I'm the kind of girl that likes to enjoy the journey and not race through it to get to the destination. I hate it when life goes too fast. And I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or because I'm an empath, but I've noticed I enjoy life more when I slow down and kind of process through it. Lately, working for one of my main gigs, I'm a consultant for Microsoft, and it's a fast-paced world. And I just want to hit pause, but there's no pause button. So the things that I can control, I want to go, nope, I want to go through this. I just want to feel my way through it. And if you're like me, you're going to like today's episode because I'm just going to pick your brain enough to get the juices flowing. There's not going to be a podcast that teaches you from A to Z how to build a side hustle from scratch. It's just not possible. Everyone is so different. It's not generic. It's not cookie cutter. I don't believe in that. That's probably why I take so many private clients, but at least get you thinking. You can start to do some research, start to feel into it. Like, how can I create a side hustle? My brother will pick my brain often on this. He's like, how can I do my own thing? I don't think I'm even cut out to be an entrepreneur. And I don't even want you to get caught up in that word. Entrepreneur can be very intimidating to some. In my mind, I always saw some guy in a three-piece suit with his briefcase walking down New York City somewhere, like headed to Wall Street. That's my mind of like when I see an entrepreneur in my head, I think of some stuffy business guy with his red tie on. And guess what? Entrepreneurs got different versions for everybody, and there's lots of looks and feels to it. So it could be that mama in a t-shirt, wearing her pajama bottoms still till 3 in the afternoon, working on her laptop, while her kids are at school. That's an entrepreneur also. So don't let the word itself start to derail you or push off, or you feel yourself shutting down and already not wanting to listen. I'm going to skip to the next podcast. I don't even want you to think about that. Think of just streams of income. You're just being smart. It's no different than a garage sale, y'all. It's kind of like that. But something that gets to happen when you want it to. You can hit start, stop whenever you choose. You can hit pause. You are the driver. Okay. So take the driver's seat. You're the director of this play. You get to choose how hard you work it, how much you work it, and how often. Okay. So if you're like me and you can get really, really caught up in one stream that takes all your life energy, it can be a little overwhelming to hear these topics. But there will be time when you have a little window to start something. And once you start it, starting's the hardest. I'm going to be real. Starting's always the hardest. But once you get it in flow and it becomes a system and a routine, it doesn't feel cumbersome. It doesn't feel hard. So let's just chill, kind of do some girlfriend chatting and discovering and just brainstorming of what is that you could do. So a lot of you are going to think, well, I'm not a public figure, Carrie. I don't have a book, a podcast. I don't have platforms online. I don't have a large following, and you're already starting to dismiss yourself. That's why I want you to think outside the box today. Because guess what? This isn't catered to that person only, that type of person only. It's catered to all people. Okay. All people that want extra money. Back in the day, it used to be extra babysitting money, right? Girls, I used to babysit the neighbors' kids for extra money. That's how I want you to think. I'm not trying to get you to quit your job or quit your mainstream of income. I'm trying to get you to think outside the box. How can I get an extra $500 a month? How can I get an extra couple grand a month? Whatever that looks like, so that you can save up for a rainy day or the new car or the vacation or the kids' college fund, good Lord, or all the other things that seem to pile up, or have that emergency fund for plane trips, things that happen with family. And it just takes that stress off a little bit, because I'm a single mom. I get it. I'm a one stream income girl. There's not a husband around that's also paying the bills, someone to lean on. But if you have that opportunity, for sure, listen to this podcast together. Build this together. What's one more stream? It's going to be great, right? Even if it's a trickle, it can be a little baby stream or it can be a giant raging river, whatever you choose. You're the driver, okay? So let's dive right in and talk about some side hustle ideas just for fun. Again, just for fun. Don't get stuck in the weeds and don't get overwhelmed by the details. I just want you to start thinking. What would it look like if you designed and sold your own t-shirts? Think marketing, like fun stuff, funny, kooky sayings that you hear all the time. Or maybe you're known for saying your own silly stuff, and let that catch on. Or, just the basic happiness type of t-shirts, whatever that looks like. You can do that. It's much easier than you think. Okay. And you can go down the rabbit hole of what that looks like. Go for it. You can start your own clothing line. It's very simple. It's one of those things that there's so many drop ship type of companies out there, or white label companies is something that you might hear as well, where they already create the product. You just have to be the distributor. They just need a brand, a name, and so on. You don't have to be taping boxes in your garage and shipping things on your own. There's a way to do that. So just think about it. Okay. We're not going to go down the rabbit hole together. And if you want to, just write it down. Maybe I want to sell t-shirts. That sounds fun, Carrie. Here's another one. How about offering pet sitting or dog walking services? Do you like small little furry animals? Do you like big furry animals? Do you love doggies? Then why are you not offering to walk dogs? I know so many people that have like big companies with this, and they've had to hire out people to help because there's only one of you. That's what we call scaling a business, when you start to leverage and grow outside of who you are. Now, keep in mind, um, you gotta like dogs. Can't be allergic to dogs. Can't be allergic to pets if you like to pet sit. Watching kitty cats and so on. Kind of explore it. I can tell you right now, dog walking is a pain. I'm not a dog owner, but working from home, I can barely get in a quick bathroom break or go grab food, much less walk a dog every couple hours or however often you have to walk them. It's a great excuse for exercise. So think of it. You're getting some workout, getting a workout and making some money at the same time. So look into that. The beauty of it is you can walk a couple dogs at the same time if they get along, right? If they get along is the key. Okay. So how about delivering groceries and other items? I just picked up my groceries this morning. I do curbside at the grocery stores. I'm not a fan of grocery shopping for two reasons. One, I don't like it. I feel like I should be doing something more productive with my time. It pulls at me. There's a lot of items on my to-do list that pull at me that way. But most of all is I feel like it's really better to delegate that out, stick to my list, buy it online, go pick it up, and I'm not tempted by all the others, quick last minute items or impulse purchases. And my grocery bill, I noticed, has been a lot lower than it normally would if I were walking in hungry, grabbing everything off the shelf. Okay. So those people that do deliver groceries, which I've had done as well, if I just can't break away, sometimes I look for that excuse to get in my car and drive away. Because again, I work from home and I need that fresh air, go check out the water, go look at the bay, kind of like just get me out of the house, listen to a song or a podcast. So I like to go get my groceries, but if you're the type that wants that stuff right on the porch, you can relate. Delivering groceries is a moneymaker. Lots of people want that. People will pay good money to make their lives easier. Is the best saying I've ever heard from a good friend of mine. Another one, kind of in the similar vein, renting out your home or a spare room. Do you have multiple houses? Do you have a basement that's finished that you could rent out? Again, notice I'm not pulling at the entrepreneur bucket, okay? I'm not really working with that mindset of I have to have this big broad name platform. Everybody has to know me. I have to have 100,000 followers. No, not at all. This is extra cash in your pocket. If you love it, that's the fun thing about some of these things is you don't have to spend a fortune to start them up. You could just get word of mouth to start and just keep going with that. Then if you love it, build a brand. Circle back to me because I love that part, okay? Circle back to the building the brand part because that's my favorite. The online digital part. What else could you do? Again, do you have a casita in the back? That's the best to rent out because then it's not attached to your house, right? It's got a bathroom. It's kind of fun. My sister and I'll go right down into sharing stories. My sister recently spent a little anniversary getaway last weekend with her husband. And girls, let me tell you, what they rented looked like, it was really, really cute. I don't want to minimize that. It was a triangle box. Half of the triangle went upward. If you picture like a triangle with a little door, it looked like a little fort, but half of it opened up so that it was wide open. It was just a bed with a couple chairs, mosquito netting overlooking this gorgeous valley. They did have running water. They had a shared bathroom, which was in a separate building, running water, no flushing toilet. Just have to say that part, but you could take a shower. They had water. So they spent money for that. People want something different. If you've got property and land, utilize it. Turn it into an Airbnb. Have someone else handling that part. She also shared that the owner dropped off fresh made bagels every morning in her little golf cart. This is just so damn cute. And I guess they're growing, or they do have a yurt as well. And then they're building like an igloo or something that can happen in the wintertime. I don't know. Super fun. It's in northern Michigan. But think about it. This is someone that's thinking outside the box. This isn't going to cost as much as a full-blown second home to rent out, but they're creative. And of course, it's seasonal, but how fun, extra bucks, making the use of your land, nothing too complicated. If you've got a handyman for a husband or a friend or family member, go for it. Okay. Again, I'm just trying to stir up your creative juices. Okay. Okay. Sell your photography. Are you the type of person that spends a lot of money on a camera? Maybe it's a hobby of yours. People are always looking to buy from a photographer, whether it's a wedding planner, wedding photographer, seeing your pictures, family photos, Christmas cards. I mean, I could go on and on. And all my clients that want a personal brand, they're looking for photographers to do that. Think about how fun that is. If you just dabbled in photography and you thought that was fun, turn it into a side hustle. What are you waiting for? There's a demand out there. And if you're just getting started, people will do what we call trade for shoot. You can do their pictures just to get referrals or recommendations to kind of barter and go back and forth. Maybe they've got a business as well or something you need, or can help you with something. It's huge, or they'll put the word out or let you use their photos for branding or marketing or advertising. Okay. Great baby steps. These are all baby steps to start thinking how that works. I don't want you to start thinking in so much into the details that you talk yourself out of it. Because if one of these just piques your interest a little bit, I want you to go deeper. Go deeper. It doesn't have to be complicated, guys. That's what keeps us stuck. We start comparing ourselves to someone else who's been doing something for 12 years. And I love the saying, never compare your start to someone else's middle, because that's just not how it works. Okay. It's just not how it works. Oh, let me dig around for some more ideas. Create and sell your own handmade goods. What does that look like? Do you like to knit? Do you like to crochet? Do you like to make jams and jellies? I just was at a craft show this past weekend with my aunts, my cousin, my sisters, my mom. It was a girls' weekend up in Sheboygan, Michigan. And it was so much fun. And that little town had a craft show. Of course, I'm going to hunt through that. You know what I bought? I'm telling myself the fries, blah, 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 can't even get the word out. Dry freeze. Is that the right? Am I even saying this right? Freeze dried. Hello, Carrie Lynn. Freeze dried candy. What? How come no one told me about this? Oh my goodness. I just remembered I bought some on Amazon. That'll be a surprise this week that I get in the mail. How fun is that? Who would think to put Sprees and Skittles and Milk Duds in a dried, I can't even say it, freeze dried. I don't have one. Can you tell? I mean, how funny. Little tiny packet, $5. I didn't even think twice. Hand her a $5 bill, walked off with my Sprees. Those Sprees probably cost like 50 cents, maybe less if she stocked up at Costco or Sam's. And she just did her own packaging and sold it at a craft show. I would say that's how you can tell. I'm great at math, but not great at math. I'm great at what comes into my bank account. And that's about where my math stops. But think of the percentage of profit upsell. If she spent 50 cents, maybe tops $1 on that box, and I paid 5. And all she had to do was freeze dry it. So kind of cool, y'all. I saw everything under the sun, from Halloween decorations to fall to pillows, handmade pillows. If that's something that's fun and it's kind of a hobby, why not sell it? If you like to make jewelry, do you like to make blankets? I saw everything, guys, everything. Just, again, scraping that little bit. And a lot of people like to make candles, because my sister will put her business into a craft show from time to time, even though her stuff honestly is kind of above and beyond. It could be a little partial, but above and beyond the typical, paint by number looking stuff. But overall, because her stuff is more custom made and one of a kind. Not that everything else isn't, but you're not going to see two alike. That's the fun part. So if you like to knit pot holders, brand things, you've got a theme that you do. There's so many shows. They're everywhere. All summer, fall, seasonal, indoors in the wintertime if your weather's bad where you live. So many options. So many options. Good stuff. I have a friend that likes to make salsa and other things of that nature. She'll make tons of batches and charcuterie items. Oh, That is my thing right there. You just spoke my love language. That is cool. And it's even more fun to buy a one of a kind at a craft show versus boring old grocery store, same old, right? You want to be unique and different. So, those are again some ideas, just simple ideas, kind of again, without going into the deep, deep stuff. Now, if you want to do more technical stuff and you already have a digital brand online, you're that girl that's already monetized everything online. I haven't even thought outside that circle. I'm going to go a little deeper and ask you, have you monetized your YouTube channel? And if you haven't, look into that. Do you sell digital products? If you haven't looked into that, what's a digital product, a digital course, something that's evergreen, that runs on its own, a how-to program where someone buys it and they instantly get access to your content. Okay. Again, I'm going to get in kind of the techie world a little bit, but I have to play in my arena that I'm used to. Speaking to those girls. Have you started a podcast? There's so many ways to monetize a podcast, from sponsorship to ads to pointing people towards other platforms to buy. Do you have an Amazon storefront? I've even done that, where you can collect a percentage from things you recommend on Amazon. The fun part is if you already have a digital brand and you're out there, you can point people in that direction. The bigger the audience, the more options you have. It really, really, truly is. Podcasts are fun. It's one of my favorite times of the week for me to sit down with my microphone and just go to town. And the cost overhead for a podcast is ridiculously low, like silly low. Okay. So again, thinking of other digital marketing services, maybe you can offer those. Maybe you do social media management. If you like to play on social media platforms, or you have a favorite, such as Instagrams, maybe Facebook, maybe it's TikTok, maybe it's LinkedIn, maybe it's YouTube, whatever your favorite place that you see yourself playing with on a regular basis, it's your platform. Why don't you take it another level and learn everything you can about that one platform and then be an expert? Because people like myself and others that are also in the industry would love for someone to handle that piece of their business. And the more you know, the more you'll grow, right? That's what this radio show is all about. And, just kind of delve into that. Is it something fun? Take on one client to start. If you hate it, don't keep doing it. If you love it, get recommendations, referrals, and keep moving forward. Builds it out. I know so many virtual assistants that are doing really, really, really well, full-time income, that have started off with just doing Facebook marketing. Learn Facebook ads, learn how it works, learn the algorithms, learn the business side, learn the analytics. If you love it, keep digging. There's so much free online content to really train who you are. You can be a self-study. That's truly the best. That's how I prefer to learn, actually, is find something I'm excited about and take a dive. Get that scuba gear on and jump in. What else can you do in the digital marketing world? You can become an affiliate marketer. If you already have a platform with many followers, this is ideal. There's lots of people that are launching programs that would give you a percentage to market their products, which kind of segues into being an influencer. Are you the type that I love social media, Carrie. I love talking about things, but I don't really have anything to offer. I don't have my own brand. I don't have my own products. I don't have my own, you know, type of things to sell. I don't really have customers or clients. Why not become that influencer marketer? People on Instagram are always looking for you to promote their jewelry, their makeup, anything under the sun, literally. Their sweaters, their clothing. Goes back, kind of ties in with it being an Amazon influencer as well. Look into that. If you're the girl that's like, I just want to show other people stuff, this is perfect for you. What's so much fun is all you do is point them to a link. You talk about the product, you point them to the link, you get a paycheck every month. You don't have to deal with shipping and handling. You don't have to deal with the customer stuff. You don't have to listen to customer complaints. You don't have to even take anybody's credit card number. Everything's handled through their business platform, their e-commerce store. And all you do is collect a check every month. So think about that. Again, if you've built up like a pretty good following and you get some engagement, start trying products and talking about them. Super yummy, super yummy, so much fun. What else can we do? Because you see how the options are just can go and go and go, literally. Maybe again, I'm going to shift gears a little bit. What is in your house that you can resell? Anything used, vintage, antiques? Did you inherit a bunch of things that you don't want? You could use something like OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace and get rid of this stuff. Not only will you feel really good, but you made some money. It's kind of fun. I downsized so much this past couple months, just moving from a bigger home into a smaller home and not wanting to drag half of that stuff across the country. I donated a ton of things, but I also sold things too. And it was kind of nice to be like, hey, I just made some cash. It was just a little gathering there in the envelope. I mean, I don't even deal with cash very much. Most of us do digital payments all the time these days, and it was just different. But it was kind of nice making some cash. I felt like I got something done that day. Made $400 on this couch. So, what is it that you can get rid of? Is it the bike you're never using in the garage? Is it the things in the shed? When was the last time you pulled out everything from the shed and like nobody even touches this stuff all year long? Why am I hiding it in there? It's collecting dust when some other family can make the most use of these games and so on. I have to commend my sister. She's very good at doing a lot of cleansing and recycling and getting things out and out with the old and in with the new on a seasonal basis with her home and her kids. That's the way to do it, guys. Take a look at what you have, and maybe you had a collection once upon a time and you're really not thinking, not that I'm going to call it a baseball card collection just for lack of a better word, but something similar where it's in growing in, not quality, but I can't think of the words. So I'm just going to skip over that. The investment value or the value of it is going up every day, but you're just like not in it anymore. I'm just not, maybe you collected Barbies, who knows? Take a look and see what it's worth. Take it to an appraiser, see what it's worth. Maybe you used to collect a certain type of art and you're just like, this is starting to clutter up my house. I don't know what I was doing. No judgment, sisters. We've all been there. Okay. I get it. I used to collect things too, but how can you make some money? And this could actually be fun, dropping things off, maybe shipping, making that optional, maybe doing it through eBay or whatever works. I believe there's things you can buy and sell on Etsy as well. So lots of ideas, lots of things to consider as you just kind of want you to play. Maybe your kids can inspire you. Maybe they want to do a car wash or detailing. Not going to lie, when I first moved back home, I had so many bugs in the front of my car from driving 3,000 miles, actually 2,000 miles, I think it is, across the country. The layer of bugs was disgusting. In fact, I offered to pay my nephew. I'm like, if you can clean KK's car, I'll pay you $25. And he went and looked at the bugs and went, nope. But then I was like, okay, well, do you want to help me? So we both rolled up our sleeves. He still got some money in the deal, and was helping KK out, his Aunt KK. So I would pay anybody to come along and detail the car. I don't want to vacuum my car. I don't want to wipe it down. I don't want to do the windows, but I wouldn't mind a kid coming around the house every Thursday or every second Tuesday of the month or whatever that looks like to do car washing and detailing. How cool is that? So I'm giving you ideas for your kids too. Get them out of the house, get them to make some money, get them to see what that feels like. It's nice for them to have some cash in their pocket. They feel powerful. You're giving them empowerment too. Or maybe you want to start up a mobile car washing and detailing. We had those in abundance in Las Vegas because people would be at work. They'd drive their van to their car, work on your car while you're working, go home with a nice shiny brand new looking car, smells good and everything. That I loved. And they would wash the inside and out. But sometimes us busy professionals can't get out of our own way to go get a car wash. I'm that girl. I'm working, working, working. I need someone to come and do this for me, make it easy for me, come to my house, come to my place of work. That's kind of fun. A mobile car washing and detailing company. I'm going to cover just a couple more to get your mind just rolling in the right direction. Hopefully you land on one of the things I've offered, or you can go off on a tangent. Maybe something I said sparked enough information for you to go, wait a minute, that reminds me, I could do this, or someone else I know did that. Let's see. I would, I kind of talked about clothing. You could actually create a clothing line if you want to go that much, that far, aside from just selling t-shirts with words and such on it. There's lots of drop shipping businesses out there. Kind of Google it. Start a drop shipping business, or what is entailed, or give me ideas of the best drop shipping clothing suppliers. There's lots of links to that too. Google that. Take a look and see if any of those spark interest to you. A lot of people will start a blog or a newsletter. That was big. I'm not going to say that's a big push now, but email marketing has always been super beneficial. If you are consistently writing a blog about travel, for example, and you have a newsletter that goes out every week or every twice a week saying, hey, this is the latest travel updates. This is the place to go. This is the place to eat. This is the restaurant to try. Maybe you're a foodie and you want to just talk about restaurants. You're a food critic. People will subscribe to that if it hits a topic they love. Maybe you're a Christian author and you want to send out Christian content all the time. Do you see where you can make money? Once people start subscribing to your blog or newsletter, then when you're ready to sell a book, boom, that's who you sell it to. Or sell an online course, or get them to your podcast. And now you're making money off of your sponsors and ads off a podcast, or anything you recommend products as an influencer. It just takes on a life of its own. It really does, once you open up your mind to the possibilities, because that was really my goal for this year. I was going to create as many streams of income as I can. But I'll tell you this right now. Do one at a time. Master one at a time. I have to stop myself multiple times and go, Carrie, one thing at a time. Podcast and book, those were the two this year. Streams of income I was creating. Gosh, thanks to you guys, I'm almost at 30,000 downloads since January. Okay. We're only on episode 41. Not bad. Thank you so much, listeners. Props to you for sharing this out. It makes my life better, and it makes everyone else's life better too, because then they get the information I'm sharing, right? It's all about sharing is caring. So, don't hoard this stuff. I tell you that all the time. Kind of look outside and go, what can I tackle now? And I don't want you to feel any shame. Like, Carrie, I really don't know if I can even have time for this. I'm running kids to sporting events. School just started. Next, it's the holidays. When will I ever have time for this? Just bite off a little bit every day or once a week. If just Saturday afternoon is your time that you actually have carved out where it's quiet, work a little bit at a time. You'll feel so good. Trust me. This is how only way I was able to tackle all of that, all my careers, clients, and move across the country this year, and getting ready to publish a book, was just chip away at a little at a time. Just a little baby step, a little baby step, a little baby box to check off, a little baby box. And when you look back, you'll realize, wow, look all the progress I made. I'm so proud of myself. I can't believe I did that. You will feel amazing than not doing anything at all, or keep putting it off, or putting it on a shelf, or try it later. Why? Why? So let's go on a couple more ideas before I wrap up today's episode. You've heard of rideshare, which is Uber, Lyft, all of the things. If you have a great car, it's in good condition, you don't have 1,000,000 miles on it yet, why not? The fun part about, from what I've heard, because I don't know, Uber and Lyft, you can turn it on or turn it off. You can work it as hard as you want, or you work it as slow as you want. I know a lot of people that make a good living just doing Uber. That's it. Now there's Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, all the things where you can go and grab things for people. Again, you're making people like me that are stuck to their computer all day, you're making our lives easier. DoorDash is awesome. I think it's the best thing ever to have my meal show up at my doorstep, already cooked and ready for me when I can barely get away long enough to cook something. Isn't that ridiculous? Oh, I hope you can hear the frustration in my voice because it's for real. I'm trying to minimize it actually, but I'm really working on that work-life balance, so to speak. Get some water in my throat here. So, looking at as a rideshare driver, we've even got options now, I think, under Uber Eats and DoorDash and Grubhub to go get people's errands, run their errands for them. Oh, I need a gallon of milk. Please go run and get that for me. You're kind of someone's personal assistant here or there. And again, you just do it when you want to. If you need that flexibility, everything I've mentioned to you is extremely, extremely flexible. You choose when you rent out your room. You choose if you rent out your basement. You get to choose, pet sitting. Do I want to do that? Dog walking. Do I even want to sell my own t-shirts? How much do I want to start off with one t-shirt? See how that works. That's all it takes, guys. Just doing it slowly. If you've got again, it goes back to the rideshare. If you've got a car that works, what about delivering packages? Lately, Amazon, Lord, I cannot say enough about Amazon. Anyone with time and access to a vehicle can now sign up to deliver packages through Amazon Flex. Amazon Flex is a great way to earn extra income in your spare time. Your schedule is flexible. Drivers simply sign up for a block of time and receive as many or as few delivery assignments as they have time for. See, again, flexibility. It's called Amazon Flex. You heard it here first, or you might not have. But I love how, there's just so much options now, print on demand type of t-shirts, that's as needed. You don't have inventory stocked up in your basement somewhere. There's lots of options for products and inventory that way. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I think you might generate some brilliance off of. Covered quite a bit. So I hope this really gives you just enough to not feel overwhelmed, but to be inspired. I always want to give you inspiration combined with education, which is what I believe is the formula to create motivation. Once you know what you're doing and you're inspired to do it, take the first steps. It'll motivate you to get moving. It'll motivate you to get moving forward. That's the key. So just kind of play in these particular ideas, write them down, re-listen to the podcast if you need to. Write down these ideas, brainstorm, and let it marinate. That's me. How can I let something kind of go, yeah, that might work? I'm looking into creating a couple digital courses. And again, I'm reminding myself to stick with one and then rinse and repeat it before I start the next one. One at a time, Carrie, because I'm like, oh, I have 3 ideas. Can I just create 3 courses all at once? Yeah, even my own business mentors just shake their head. So one at a time, rinse and repeat it, learn from it. One at a time, rinse and repeat it, learn from it. The problem with us creatives, most of us that are super creative, we like to start things but never finish them. And if you have ADHD or a short attention span, it's really hard to finish and complete things. I like to close a loop. It kind of bugs me in the back of my mind all the time that I need to finish that. I need to finish that. Even if it's just grocery shopping. I made a list and I started it, but I didn't check out my cart on my app. I just want to close the loop, be done with it. So if that's you, don't just write it down, but let it marinate. Write it in your journal. I like to take pictures. Carrie mentioned pictures. I want to invest in some good photography equipment. What does that look like? I should really make some money off of this, if anything. If you enjoy doing it, it's a hobby. At least make enough to support your hobby, right? Those cameras are expensive. I know how expensive those are. It's insane. Go a little deeper and at least try to offset the costs. Make some money on that and just keep seeing where it goes. Keep exploring. Somebody online has already done it, mastered it, and can rinse and repeat it. You most likely will not be the first one to ever break ground in the idea you have. Trust me. And if you are, awesome. But I think if you find already an abundance of it online or wherever, it's because it's necessary. Someone needs it. Someone saw value in it. If the demand wasn't out there, there wouldn't be a ton of it already out there. So that's a green flag, not a red flag. If you see a lot of competition or a lot of people, that's a demand for it. People are still putting coffee shops up on every corner all over America, even though we're already inundated with every kind of Starbucks and Starbucks, kind of knockoff that there is out there. Doesn't matter. They will never stop. Never stop, because why? There's a demand for it. I'm right there with you. I love my coffee. So just kind of let it, again, marinate in your soul. Ask God for guidance. Lord, is this the right time? Show me the easiest way. These are the things I pray for. God, give me proof, give me wisdom, show me truth. Is this the right timing? Give me peace about it. God, give me just the energy to do it, all the things. If it's the right timing and it's your purpose and passion, and especially if it's His will for your life, will He ever make the way possible? I can promise you that. So again, if you didn't listen to part 1 of this, of why you need one, or you're already sold just by the few ideas I gave you, I hope this was helpful. I really, really do. Share this with a friend. Dig deep. And there'll be lots of future episodes and lots of content on my websites, if there isn't already by the time you listen to this, just to help you go deeper. So much fun. There's so much opportunity out there these days. And I know you know that. It's the key is to give yourself permission to do it. Give yourself permission to find the time to do it, right? Time's my enemy too. Big hugs, big love. See you on the next episode.
Hi there, friend. If you enjoyed this episode, do me a favor and double check that you're subscribed or following. And if you've got a quick 30 seconds, it would mean the world to me if you could leave me a 5-star review and share what you specifically liked about this episode.